Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Hope everybody's having a great day today. And speaking of Christmas and gifts, I've got some great news for everybody. And that is that Republicans in the state of Pennsylvania, even though the election is over, they continue to make impressive strides at terraforming the state in their favor. And you can look at voter registration data, and you can look at the 2024 election results and the swing compared to 2020. It seems like pretty much everywhere we saw the dam break in places like Arizona, obviously we know Florida, North Carolina. The shift in raw registration between 2020 and now was basically the shift we saw pretty much everywhere. It was the number one indicator in terms of how a state would move, and we saw, you could look in Pennsylvania, a shift to the right of 400,000 party registrations, and we did see the election shift over 200,000 votes to the right. It wasn't a one-to-one because you do have a lot of ancestral Democrat voters who have switched their party registration, and that technically counts as a net gain of 2, even though it doesn't really show up, I guess you would say, on the election shift map if people are voting Republican every election despite being registered as a Democrat, you name it. But still, even though the election was over a month ago, Republicans have gained 64,000 net votes in 1 month. Some of that is people switching their registration. Some of those are inactive voters being purged. But either way, it doesn't matter. That is basically closing the gap, 25% that's needed to close over the next 4 years in 1 month for Republicans to have the raw advantage in the state, which means the state's going to be a lot harder for Democrats to win. And we're going to dive into why this is so important, because Pennsylvania moving forward is still going to be that utmost important swing state for sure for either side to win. But first, I have to tell you about our latest sponsor over at Orion Metals. America, listen up. Are you tired of watching the government gamble with your hard-earned retirement savings? Inflation's out of control, the national debt keeps climbing, and foreign powers like BRICS and illegal immigration are pushing the US dollar weaker and pushing the cost of everyday goods higher. Here's the kicker, though. During Trump's first term, gold prices skyrocketed. They doubled in value. That's right, gold doubled. What if it happens again? Are your retirement savings ready to handle what's coming? This is why you need Orion Metal Exchange. They're America's highest rated precious metals IRA by Retirement Living, and they give you more metal for your money. Imagine converting your IRA or 401k into gold and silver, real physical wealth that you can count on no matter what. Don't wait until it's too late. Take control of your future today. Call Orion Metal Exchange now at 888-625-8775 and get your free investor's guide. It is packed with the information you need to protect your retirement savings. You've worked too hard to leave your future up to chance. Call 888-625-8775. Do it now. Orion Metal Exchange is here to help you secure your wealth and stand strong as a proud conservative American. Now back to the video. Okay, so this news is massive. And 64,000 in 1 month is huge in one of the closest swing states in the entire country. Of course, it wasn't that close this election cycle. We saw what took place. Donald Trump won the state of Pennsylvania by close to 2 percentage points. He won it by 120,000 votes, and that's absolutely huge. So you talk about all of those net registrations added on top. It's not a one-to-one correlation for sure, but you're talking about tens of thousands of votes probably netted in the Republican column regardless, which is great for them for sure. And on top of it, they flipped a county in the party registration, Center County, which went for Kamala Harris by just over 2,000 votes, and Republicans had a net disadvantage in Center County of about 1,000 votes on Election Day. Well, that is now basically turned on its head, and now Republicans have the advantage as of a couple of days ago, where they now lead the Democrats by 705 votes in Center County, Pennsylvania, which is, a swing county. It leans a little bit more to the left, but still, you would absolutely love to have more net registrations anywhere in the state. And the fact they flipped another county Republican is absolutely huge in terms of the party registration data. And this is very important. We saw this throughout. The state is a state where Republicans have a lot of room to grow. During the Trump era, they've transformed the state from a state Republicans have not really had the best results in. Even Bush, when he was winning in the 2000s, he was not able to win Pennsylvania. The last time before Trump that had voted for a Republican was 1988, but could it be transformed into a safe red state, or at least I guess you would say a red-leaning swing state in the future? It's entirely possible thanks to the realignment that has been accelerated by President Trump. And you're seeing this here. Bucks County flipped Republican for the first time, going all the way back decades. You saw several counties that are the bellwether counties, Northampton in the state, vote Republican. Erie County voted Republican. On top of it, you even saw the Philadelphia metro area move to the right, and a lot of northeastern Pennsylvania moved to the right. A lot of working class white voters, a lot of ethnic white Catholics, Polish voters, Italians, you name it. That demographic across the entire Northeast, you're seeing it in parts of upstate New York and even the New York City area as a whole. You're seeing it in New Jersey. And yes, it does carry over into Pennsylvania, and you're seeing Republicans take advantage of it. This was a very, very important state for Donald Trump to go out there and win in order to win this election, and he did. He won it. Not only did he win it, he won it big, and on top of it, you look at what happened down ballot. They toppled Bob Casey, who a lot of people a year ago would have said he would be unbeatable, even if he would only win by a few points. Nobody thought that Dave McCormick really had a shot, but he went out there and he won, largely thanks to Donald Trump helping carry him over the finish line. But still, and despite them trying to count as many shady ballots as possible in Bucks County and basically bragging about it, it didn't matter. McCormick ended up winning by over 15,000 votes. They won 2 House seats that they did not hold going into this election. They won the 7th district, they won the 8th district, and they held the 10th district, which has been moving to the left, but still it didn't matter. Scott Perry held on by 5,000 votes against a strong candidate. And then you look down ballot, the state Senate went Republican, the state House is still relatively close, and then you look at the statewide races. They flipped the Attorney General's race in the state by 5 points. They won the auditor's race by 5 points. They won the treasurer's seat by 6 points. So altogether, you're talking about every single statewide office besides the governorship went Republican, essentially, because the governorship is not up in the presidential year, and there's obviously this Supreme Court races that are going to be up in the off years as well. But still, you're looking at what's happening. This is becoming a red-leaning state. It doesn't mean that it's unwinnable for Democrats, but the more their registration edge diminishes, because it was over 1 million in the 2000s, yet all these ancestral Democrats, they're gone now. Essentially, they're fading away. In terms of the active voter registration, Republicans are almost taking the lead, but the total voter registration, already in 1 month since the election, the Democrat advantage shrunk considerably. And if this happens even at a lesser pace leading into 2025, it's possible by 2026 or so that Republicans could overtake the Democrats in voter registration, and that's going to make it considerably harder for the Democrats to go out there and win elections in the state of Pennsylvania. And why is this so crucial? Well, look at the electoral map. Every state that was decided by under 6 points or so is currently not colored in if you look at this map. And for 2028, talking about party registration, it's going to be extremely difficult for Democrats to win Arizona or Nevada at the rate things are going, and also probably North Carolina, unless they have an extraordinarily good night. And on the flip side, you look at states like Minnesota, it's very unlikely that Republicans are going to go out there and win the state in 2028. It's possible, same thing with Virginia. I still think that it would take a very good night to flip Virginia. Doesn't mean it's not possible by then, But, still, same thing goes for Nebraska's 2nd district. But if we're talking about the pathway for J.D. Vance, who's likely going to be the 2028 Republican nominee, barring something unforeseen, to get to 270, Pennsylvania does it. He doesn't even need Georgia. He doesn't need Michigan. He doesn't need Wisconsin. He doesn't need anything else. Pennsylvania is that key state. It is still very much so ground zero for a 2028 victory, just as it was for a 2024 victory. So if we're talking about the importance of party registration, the more you astroturf these states and terraform these states, you're talking about Florida, North Carolina to an extent. The party registration data says everything. Arizona, it's showing us a lot. Nevada, that's changed with the state in terms of the way the state's voting, the composition of the electorate. If Pennsylvania has a more Republican electorate, that's a much, much smaller pool of votes that Democrats can bank votes from, and it's a much larger pool that Republicans can bank votes from. So you're talking about Pennsylvania becoming more and more of a red state in the future. So it's a great development to see. We'll see what happens in the coming year, but a great Christmas development in the state of Pennsylvania for Republicans. So anyways, guys, make sure you guys like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.